Donald Trump is absolutely destroying Democrats. He's done more in 7 weeks than Democrats have done in 200 years. They can't take it. So the only story that Democrats can cling to is Signalgate, which is a completely made up story. They have no policies, they have no answers, and they cannot fix anything for the American people. Let's see what the greatest American to ever live, Donald J. Trump, is up to. Donald Trump has signed an executive order to withdraw the United States from the World Health Organization. Of course, because these Nazis pushed the COVID disease and hoax on all American citizens, and now we're starting to see the effects of this. Cancer is spreading like wildfire in young people, and not just cancer, an aggressive form of cancer. Dr. Fauci needs to be arrested, prosecuted, and sent to Gitmo for the rest of his life. Donald Trump also tweeted whatever happened to the $8 million given by our government to Radical Left Politico magazine, or whatever you want to call it. I'll call it a dumpster fire owned by wealthy guys. This money should be taken back. Doge, SAP. Also, is Stacey Abrams going to give back the $2 billion they funneled into her environmental fund just prior to my assuming office? She went from $100 in donations to $2 billion in just one day. Not bad. Get back the money. I mean, this is unbelievable. Anybody else that had this type of behavior would get a RICO case and you'd be in the feds for the rest of your life. $2 billion funneled to the communist, socialist, lowlife Stacey Abrams in Georgia. $2 billion of taxpayers' money. See, this is why Democrats don't want this investigated. Because this fund, this taxpayer fund, all they do is funnel that money to Democratic candidates, and they use that to campaign and try to win. It's ridiculous. And that's why they're having made-up protesters. George Soros is paying protesters to try to protest, burn down Tesla buildings, and eventually try to assassinate Elon Musk for doing what the American people elected Donald Trump to do. Elon Musk was given a job to audit the government by Donald J. Trump. And the Democratic spin is, oh, Elon thinks he's president of the United States. No, he doesn't. Check the job title. It's very simple if you could read. But when you're an insane liberal who has the education of a third grader and acts like a third grader, this is what you get. You get emotional outbursts from low-life, ignorant communists who couldn't hack going to school on time. You know, this is all you ever hear from Democrats, especially their kids. I have anxiety. The kid's got green hair, 9 piercings, 400 tattoos, goes to school in pajamas, but they have anxiety. No, it's called they just want to do whatever the F they want to do. And then when you try to make them or their parents responsible, the kid emulates the parent and has a total meltdown and goes and cuts his penis off and you know what to a school. That's a Democratic human being and their kid in a nutshell. And this is what Donald J. Trump and Elon Musk are dealing with. They're dealing with the effects of these types of losers. Donald Trump is also signing executive orders and going to pass into law that illegal immigrants should never be able to vote. Oh, wow. Should he even have to do this? See, if Democrats were really Americans, nothing's funnier than Democrats pretending to be Americans because we all know they're not Americans. You have to pass a law in your own country not to allow illegals to vote. And why would Democrats want illegals to vote? Because nobody else wants to vote for them. That's why. That's why they have to let 22 million illegals in, give them free everything, because that's the only way they can win elections. What's the best Democrats have to offer? California? New York? Have you been there lately? I have. Complete garbage dump. That's what it is. Jasmine Crockett, that's the best Democrats have to offer. Jasmine Crockett, an Ivy Leaguer, Penn University graduate who went to all the Ivy League schools, and now she's trying to reinvent herself by being ghetto fabulous because she thinks that's going to help her win an election. That's what Democrats, that's the best they have to offer. It's Donald Trump's world, and we're all just living in it. President Trump clowned on a fake news reporter in the Oval Office for wearing a mask in 2025. You know, I see these types of idiots all the time, and I'm not going to get into characteristics that wear the masks, but it's always the same type of Kamala Harris, Barack Obama, Joe Biden supporter wearing these masks. Oh, yeah, they'll wear a mask, but they'll have 1,000 sexual partners and smoke 5 packs of cigarettes a day. But I need that mask on. Let's listen to the greatest American to ever live, the Don.
On education control to the states, how would you handle it if a state like California were to put in place education control?
You know, I haven't seen a mask in so long. You're wearing a mask. So nice of you. I haven't seen anybody wearing a mask in a long time. It's good. You feel more comfortable, right?
Yes.
Good. That's good. So go ahead.
On education control to the states.
You know, I'm all for Donald J. Trump to just take over the world. He could run every country. And think about it. Every single country in the world takes millions and billions of trillions of dollars for the United States of America. The money never goes to those people, and the country becomes a dump. So why shouldn't Donald J. Trump just take over the world, since we're taking care of the world anyway? At least he'd be able to run the country adequately, and everybody could live like a normal, civilized human being, because obviously those leaders in those countries have failed. It doesn't matter where the country is. Europe, South America, Africa, Asia, they all take money from the American taxpayer because they have leadership that is beyond corrupt, treats their people less than human. Democrats are still talking about Signalgate. You know, Donald Trump, they tried to assassinate Donald Trump 3 times. It was out of the news cycle in one day. But since Democrats have nothing to talk about or run on or policy or answers or anything else, let's cling to Signalgate, a text message where a communist reporter was added to the group message. After an attack happened, he got a little bit of details from that attack, and now it's the end of the world. Did Democrats care about an open border? No. Did they care about Lincoln Riley being sexually assaulted and murdered? Nope. Inflation? No, nothing to see there. Oh, let's not forget about Russia and the Ukraine war. Joe Biden's in the basement asleep with ice cream on his shirt by noon as World War III breaks out. But let's make a big deal about Signalgate. That's why Democrats are an absolute disgrace and a joke, and that's why nobody votes for you.
Success. So they want to focus on this. It's embarrassing, yes. We're going to get to the bottom of it. I just talked to Elon on the way here. We've got the best technical minds looking at how this happened. But I can tell you for 100%, I don't know this guy. I know him by his horrible reputation, and he really is the bottom scum of journalists. And I know him in the sense that he hates the president, but I don't text him. He wasn't on my phone. And we're going to figure out how this happened.
So you don't know what staffer is responsible for this right now?
Well, look, a staffer wasn't responsible, and look, I take full responsibility. I built the group. My job is to make sure everything's coordinated.
But how did the
execute?
I mean, I don't mean to be pedantic here, but how did the number?
Have you ever had somebody's contact that shows their name, and then you have somebody else's number there?
I never make those mistakes.
Right? You got somebody else's number on someone else's contact. So of course I didn't see this loser in the group. It looked like someone else. Now, whether he did it deliberately or it happened in some other technical mean is something we're trying to figure out.
Now, this is coming from Jeffrey Goldberg, the same lowlife that made up the Russian hoax. He said that Donald Trump called the military losers and suckers and said that Nazis and Biden supporters, that there was both good people on both sides. This is what this Jeffrey Goldberg does because he's the bottom of the barrel bottom feeder. He needs to spend some time in Gitmo for trying to mess around with classified information and leak it to the press. He's a lowlife. Also, President Trump says he will be looking to prosecute Anthony Fauci and others who committed crimes against humanity with COVID. J.D. Vance tweeted this today. Trump also reveals he is considering revoking CNN's Kaitlin Collins press pass after reportedly interrupting and disrespecting him. I can't stand her. You know, she's a real smug little commie. She shouldn't even be allowed in the same room as Donald Trump. She doesn't deserve to be even in his presence. Communist, biased, racist towards Donald Trump. So the Trump administration also captured the leader of MS-13, and not one liberal newswork reported it. Of course they wouldn't. They're too busy clinging to Signalgate. That's what Democrats do. Oh, don't worry. We only removed one of the most dangerous humans on the entire planet, but no liberal news network will, call it out because they're probably upset. One of their future voters in their voting base is being deported for murdering and sexually assaulting American citizens. Oh, poor them. Let's go rescue all these people, these good, hardworking people, all these MS-13 gang members. And what do Democrats do? They feel bad for them. Trump is treating them so horribly. He put them on a plane, gave them a sweatsuit and a meal, and deported them back to their country. That mean old Trump, how dare he? Tom Homan, he's also going to start raiding businesses that give jobs to illegal immigrants. This should have been a no-brainer. This should have been done the last 20 years, and we wouldn't have the issues that we have in the United States of America right now. It's also being reported that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez might be investigated for harboring illegal aliens. Of course she should. What makes her above the law? Because she's a Democrat? We all know that if Donald Trump had illegals working in Mar-a-Lago, Donald Trump, his residence would be raided immediately. He'd be locked up in 2 seconds and sent to the federal prison system for 10 years. So why are Democrats always above the law? You make me sick. That's one of the reasons why I literally wake up every morning and make these videos, and I will never stop.